Okay, I just finished making the other video, which was a review for Nier Automata, the PS4 game. So I played through the game. Only once I played through Route A, but I know all the story because then I watched this YouTube video that is called, Nier Automata, the movie or something like that, and it covers everything. It covers all the paths or the playthroughs with all the story elements and all the endings. So I played myself through Route A, which is a 2B route, and I got onto the ending. And then after that, I played I didn't play the others. I watched the video. So then, I decided that I want to make a review. So in the other video, I made a review for the game. And my review, I think, is a different opinion. My review is that the game is good. It's a good game, but not, not top 3 or not the best one in the PS4 or something like that. So I talk about the good things, the things I thought that were amazing, and the bad things, the things I thought that were boring, really. But what I care about the most was the story. The story, because I'm a guy that is a storyteller. I'm gonna write several stories. I have been writing several stories. I already finished the Matrix Revelations, which is like a 4 movie for the Matrix, a really good 4 movie, which is a real sequel. Like, I thought about how to do it with the old actors from the first 3 movies and everything. So, I have been involved with thinking about good stories for a long time. So I think that, my ideas about these are good to share, even if this game is already done. So yeah, if they bring it to me, and they give me the story that they did here in the game, and they ask me, how will you do this better, story-wise? What I will do, and this is gonna be full of spoilers, spoilerish. So if you don't want to be spoiled about this game, or you haven't played it and you want to play it, leave this video in a queue and watch it later. So I'm gonna tell you, I have to spoil the story for the game to tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you how I would have done this story a little different to make it much better. So first of all, it didn't start to get good, in my opinion, until it got to the amusement park. And after that, I kept expecting that something amazing was going to happen. I kept expecting that until the end, and it didn't. So how would I have done it in a different way to make sure that this amazing thing that the reader is expecting, or the viewer is expecting, is gonna happen there? First of all, the idea they had with the sentient, I don't know if that's the right word or not, with the the robots that have emotions, they had to put that in perspective from the very beginning. So they begin with that in the amusement park, where you begin to realize that there are some robots that are not hostiles, that they're good. I would have done that from the very beginning, from the first level. From the very beginning, I would have put some robots that were even trying to help you, but I would put them in a way that will actually motivate the player to kill them, so that the player can later on realize, oh my god, what did I do? So I would have done that on purpose. With the gameplay, that's the gameplay. With the story, number one, I would have definitely exploited the idea with the aliens and the idea with the humans. Even if they wanted to put that they didn't exist anymore, even if they wanted to put that, I would have exploited those sources of ideas more. They just tell you, okay, they were there already. They were gone, they were extinct, and the only ones that were there were the robots and the androids, and they continued their war as if they were the humans and the aliens. But the way I would have done it, would have exploited. Even if they wanted to put that they were there already, they didn't dig into that rabbit hole, which would have been really good if you think about it. Because it's something that people find full of mystery. And then when they dig into that mystery more and they are given answers, they feel satisfied with the story. That was something that left me a little unsatisfied, that they just left that there and didn't do anything else. Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, I wouldn't have made them robots. I would have made them androids from the resistance that actually turned out that way, but I would have made it androids. And then I would have made it the final boss, for sure. I would have made it a big antagonist in the game, but definitely not the final boss. The game had potential to have a much bigger, deeper, greater final boss than one of those two guys. So those two guys, basically, I would have made androids. I would have made, okay, so some key idea to make the whole thing much better. I would have made the whole resistance, this base that they had in space, and all the members of that base, every single one of them, including the commander. I would have made them based on humans that were real before. So, 2B, 9S, the commander, and all of them, I will have put at some point in the story, most likely 9S, which is the curious one, will have found that all of them were based on real humans, which is gonna make the whole thing more humane, than just telling you, oh, they're androids. No, they're androids that have emotions, and all that, and they were also based on humans that were like them before. So I would have done that. I would have done that with the robots as well. I would have said that many of the robots, including Pascal, and the tribe that he had there, and some of the bosses, like the opera lady, were based on alien characters, real ones that were like those before. So that would have given them a more realistic and more emotional side to all of them. So, to make matters more interesting, I would have definitely made that a source of a clash between 2B and 9S. 2B and 9S, by the way, 2B and 9S had to fall in love much faster than that, and way more than that. I mean, if you're gonna make an M-rated game, make it an M-rated game. Make it for real. Go all the way. So I would have made this also a love story between 2B and 9S. To do that, I would have made 9S probably a little older, like 20s maybe. That they both look like they're 16 or 17. To be able to do that and make it more realistic, I would have made them both look like 20 maybe. So basically, at some point, at a point where you can tell they were in love, I would have made them discover all this backstory about the humans and all that, and discover who they were before, how they thought and what they went through, and I would have made them discover that they were enemies before. So that's gonna be a big clash. So in one side, they love each other, and the other, when they remember how they were as humans, they were enemies. So it's gonna be like a big clash, and that should lead, like gameplay wise in the game, to a really good boss battle between the two main characters. And this sort of game was made for that kind of thing. This sort of game, you can tell the game is gonna be, an emotional roller coaster. So an emotional roller coaster is good with something like that. Obviously, I will make it in such a way that they have to surpass that, they have to go through that, and then I will bring into the story some alien characters, which are robots, that are kind of like Adam and Eve, but from the aliens. Robots that get that, become superior, basically. But they get that far, and then they should reveal, or I would have done it that way, that those, super intelligent, advanced robots were the ones that really destroyed the humans and the aliens and left that world there, and they were sleeping. So I would have woken those two up, or maybe even just one, and make that the final enemy. So basically, the final enemy will be like an Adam and Eve in one character, but from the aliens. And I would have made Adam and Eve androids from the Resistance. That would have made it much more, it would fit better if it had been done that way, basically. So what else? What else? Okay, Pascal. Pascal should play a bigger role. Pascal is a really good character, an important character. So at some point, I think I will make Pascal save them. Like maybe in a battle with this big enemy, Pascal will hack the big enemy and save them. Or in the battle where 2B and IS had to fight each other, he will hack the one that the player is playing as, or the other one, any of the two, any or both of them, to stop the battle and to save both of them. So I will definitely put Pascal as an important character there that is making things that save everything, because that character is a really good character. So it fits. It fits more to put Pascal as one of the saviors than even to put 2B or 9S, because 2B and 9S are not, you know, white or black. They are like gray in the center. They have good, they have bad. They are like mix. Obviously, they are more on the good side, but they can be seen as more of a mix. I had other ideas, but that's the case of it. So maybe. So yeah, I would have done it. I would have done more with this card. I would have made it more realistic. Like they gave too little backstory on the past, on what happened in the past. And the past is the big mystery of the game if you think about it. Because okay, this past, what happened this past? Are they gonna find out? I bet that the players wanted to know that. I wanted to know that when I was playing. So I would have done it in such a way that it would explain everything. And I wouldn't do it in a third playthrough or four playthrough. What I would do is one playthrough with chapters. And then I would do like chapter 1, this, chapter 2, that, chapter 3, the other part. So then the player knows that this is one chapter, but there's another. So the game is not ending. And yeah, I think the story would have been much better if they had done Aiden and Eve as androids and new characters or robots as the equivalent of Aiden and Eve, but from the robots. And I would have put it in such a way to say that those were the ones that really destroyed everything. The ones that were the Aiden and Eve of the robots, basically. So those are my ideas. I didn't sit down to think about this. These just were some ideas that I got as I was playing through the game, especially after I finished the game. So that's it. And this is nothing compared with my stories. My stories are way better than this. Even the one that is already done, the fourth Matrix movie that I wrote, the Matrix Revelations, even that one is much better than all these ideas that I just told you right now about a game. Way better. And I'm gonna do more, but when you think a lot about good stories, it's almost inevitable that if you play another game, if you read another book, if you watch another movie, you get ideas for that. And that is what happened when I played this game. And I think one big reason for that is that I played it because of the story. I wanted to see if it really had a great story, and at the end I came to the conclusion that it has a good story, but it is not as great as I was expecting. I expected so much more than having one of these two androids as a final boss. The actual gameplay was good, but the idea of having one of these two guys as a final boss in the first path, I know that in the other paths the bosses and the final boss were different. I know because I watched the video with the story for the other playthroughs, but even those didn't let me satisfied. I even liked, to be honest, I liked the first ending and the first final boss the most. I liked it more than the others. So it didn't really. It left me, glad that I played through it and glad that I have it. I do think it has good parts, but it didn't leave I'm so satisfied after playing this feeling that I love to have, and that it is what I have with my stories, basically. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share this second video with my ideas to make this story better. This story could have been made so much better, But you know, it is what it is. I'm not the one in charge of those. At least I'm the one in charge of mine, so I can make sure that mine do pack that kind of emotional punch, that satisfying ending that really leaves people glad that they went through all that, glad that they experienced it. So, so yeah, this is it for now. I will make more reviews, maybe, but more than the reviews, I plan to share original ideas. So I will continue with some of those for my next videos for here.